Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel.
I'm Andrew. We're brothers. And this is the Daniel and Andrew Show,
where we give our opinions about movies and TV and movies about animated turtles that we've been watching lately. So, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Just a pretty weird week for movies. Movies coming out at random times, coming out on Tuesday instead of like Thursday. So it was kind of a weird flow for the week, and Barbie and Oppenheimer have slowed down way more because the 2 weekends before then was just crazy. So it's still doing well. They're still doing well. Barbie's going to make a $1 billion. So yeah, so it's big movies, probably going to be the biggest movie of the year, which is insane. More probably going to do more than Mario, which is not something I thought would happen, but who knows sometimes.
I mean, we didn't even have it in the top 5 of the summer.
I didn't think it was going to be in the top 10 of the summer, much less number 1 of the year.
Did Oppenheimer make it another 5th spot?
It'll probably hit there relatively soon, if not already. We don't have all the full numbers yet, but sometime this week probably. So far, our favorite movie this year is not even gonna be in the top 5 of the summer. So it's just they sucked all the air out of the room. Those movies, timing was bad. They should have done a what's it called? Blue Beetle and pushed it back a couple weeks, or Gran Turismo.
They had moved it. Yeah, if they had moved it back like to this next coming week, that probably would have been pretty good for them.
Yeah, and it's gonna. I think they moved out Gran Turismo from there, so it actually would have made it would have been by itself. So I think there's some horror movies or whatever, but yeah, it's weird. Too bad for them. I'm happy for that movie. I like Greta Gerwig, so I'm cool with it, I guess. There was actually 2 movies that came out this weekend, Ninja Turtles and The Meg. I saw both of them. We're going to talk about The Meg next week, so I'll save my full thoughts for there. And then we're going to talk about the one this week. I saw Barbie again because that was what people wanted to go see it. So I was like, okay, I'll see it again. It was good. I like that movie. I watched, this was one movie that I hadn't seen before, or I'd seen a little bit of it, and people really love it. Because I was seeing Disney stuff because they're doing that for the 100th anniversary of Disney. They're re-releasing movies in the theater. This one isn't one of the ones that they put in the theater, but I watched Princess and the Frog because I'd never seen the whole movie. I'd only seen parts of it. It's pretty good. The music's really good. Randy Newman wrote the music, who's famous for writing, You Got a Friend in Me. So, yeah. But good music. Story was fine, but I thought it was pretty good. I was surprised that I'd never seen the whole thing before. It just didn't happen, I guess. But yeah, it's a good movie.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Plenty of Disney movies I haven't seen. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was anything transformative or transcendent Disney-wise. I thought it was a good film, and that was like when Tangled came out, and then they've kind of had a pretty good slew of movies until recently. So I would give it like a 7, maybe an 8. I don't know, depending on the day. But I thought it was good. You watch anything this week?
I finished Ted Lasso. Uh, it was a pretty decent end. It wasn't like a perfect end because they're definitely. I didn't look it up, but just based off the ending, I think they're doing a spinoff.
Yeah, that's the thought anyway. The rumor.
Yeah, because pretty much only Ted got an ending.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then no one else got an ending. So,
yeah. Well, the
and
show's called Ted Lasso, not everybody
Yeah.
else in the show.
And I
Soccer show.
think because of that, Ted kind of got like not the ending I really wanted for him.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, we know that shows, it's hard for shows to stick the landing. It doesn't happen most of the time, I would say 9 times out of 10. It doesn't happen.
I would say that it wasn't like bad or anything. I just have higher expectations. I'm sure a casual fan would be fine with what happened. So
yeah. All right. Well, overall, good show. I'm guessing you liked
Oh
it.
yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd still watch the whole series if you want. If you're interested, it's a good watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched at least 3 or 4 episodes, and something didn't grab me about it. Some people will only watch 15 minutes of a show and they're not interested. But or like an episode. But
I'd say it's better if you watch it with people, but the humor in it is definitely not like, I'd say like modern humor, I guess. There's a lot of jokes, that like our dad would find funny and stuff.
Yeah.
Would just like fly over, a 20-year-old or something like that. So,
right. Did you watch anything else?
I started Secret Invasion. They did the first episode so far. I'll hold off on my thoughts, but so far, pretty snooze. kind of cringe at some parts too.
Have I talked about that on here yet? I can't remember.
No, I should finish it like before this weekend, I think. So,
all right. Well, you finish it. I'll get my full thoughts, but I thought it was fine until the end. People having a big problem with the ending, and it's understandable. But it was serviceable. It does what most of those shows do, where the lead up, the end of the 4th episode's interesting, and then the 5th episode's pretty good, and then the last final episode is a big letdown. Pretty much all of their shows follow that formula. I don't know why they haven't tried to work on that formula, but that's what they're doing. But yeah, we can, when you finish it up, we can talk about it, give more thoughts on it, and probably spoil some things, But
maybe we can. News isn't super heavy or anything next week. Maybe we can just do a review of that and a review of Meg 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I think we have things getting moved around and stuff. Who knows what's going to happen. Well, that's a great segue because things getting moved around. I'll give you some highlights here of things that are affected by the strike. All the Avatar movies are the ones that they're gonna do. That was affected. They pushed those all back. The Avengers movies they pushed all back. They postponed filming for the Batman 2, the Batman Part 2, Blade, Captain America: Brave New World, Challengers, that movie with Zendaya. Fantastic Four, Gran Turismo, they moved back a couple weeks. Kraven the Hunter, they moved back to next week, or next year, not next week. Spider-Man, Strays, it looks like that one with the talking dogs, looks like they've taken it off the release schedule.
Shucks.
Well, I think they wanted the people to promote it, right? Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx and stuff, and they can't do that. And that's the only way that movie sells, I think. You have to go on talk shows with dogs and stuff, and I think that's the reason. Superman Legacy, Can't Write Things, Thunderbolts, Wicked, the Ghostbusters sequel, Karate Kid sequel, Scream sequel, Spider-Man, the live action Spider-Man, Star Wars movies. Lots and lots of stuff getting postponed, or they can't write it, or they were about to start filming some things, or they're in the middle of filming things. It could really affect everything for a while. It's pretty crazy.
They seem to not be making any headway on it, so
yeah, they're not at the table, so to speak, for those for the talks, for the negotiations. So I think we'll see what happens when we get, coming out of the summer a little bit, because the summer is when shows would usually film for the fall. So probably not going to get a ton of the fall shows this year because they fall film in the summer. Because that's when things go on reruns and whatnot. So we'll see. But I think TV will have more immediate impact than maybe movies might, just based on certain things. But we'll see what happens. So,
well, they're probably gonna maybe buy some Google stock, because I'm sure YouTube subscriptions are gonna go up. There ain't nothing to watch next year.
And they're increasing the price of the YouTube.
They already did.
The premium. Yeah. They said that I was getting like a 3-month, because I've had it since it was called YouTube Red. Now it's called YouTube Premium or whatever. And they were like, you get 3 months, 3 months at your price or whatever until it goes up. So
lucky you.
Yeah. Well, I got it a long time ago. I was an early adopter of that. I've been paying for that for years.
Well, I guess you get something for wasting your money at the beginning, because it was pretty useless at the beginning.
I don't think so. I liked having things on in the background. I can turn my phone off and stuff, like the screen off, and things could play and whatnot. I use it in the background all the time. Anyway, yeah, I think if nothing happens, then a streaming service that has a lot of varied and interesting content on it will definitely be helpful at that time. Because you're going to need something to distract the kids or whatever during that time.
Yeah.
Or just maybe people, go outside and do things. Who knows?
What is grass?
Crazy. So Donald Glover is writing a new Lando series. So assuming that would mean that he would play him.
I don't know why they won't let this die. I didn't think he was like crazy as Lando or something.
Yeah, well, this news came out last week, and Billy D. Williams, who is famous for originating that character, has hinted at something, but it was the message ended with "May the Force be with you." So he's kind of hinting that he might return as Lando, so maybe he'll be in that show in some capacity, or like a narrator or something. I don't know. Maybe it'll be like How I Met Your Mother, where it's like him talking.
It's just trying to get his bag before It's not unable to or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I would probably watch it. I do like the character of Lando. I think is pretty cool character. I wouldn't mind it. I would just, obviously curious to see what the trailer or whatever would look like for that. But
Yeah, It would be like Andor for me. I had like super low expectations, and maybe I'll be surprised.
yeah, exactly. I don't think it could be good, and he's a great writer. He wrote Atlanta, and that's been nominated and won like a bunch of Emmys. So it could definitely has the chance of being good when it's not. It's not being written by the people who made Solo or anything. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So let's talk about I still don't have a name for this segment, throwback picks or whatever I said last time. But this time we're going to talk about movies that came out in July for 10, 20, and 30 years ago. So we'll start with 1993.
Call it flashback.
Flashback?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's flashback to older movies.
A flashback. Still a working title. We're working on it.
Okay.
We can talk about it. Let's see what we got here. 1993. You got the all-time classic Rookie of the Year. You got Hocus Pocus. You got Robin Hood Men in Tights. And then you got other stuff that's not great.
Most of the stuff you said wasn't that great.
Yeah, I guess 1993 July wasn't working as well. There wasn't anything as exciting. But who knows? Maybe people love Free Willy. That came out in June.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Now 2003, you got. Let's see what we got here. We got League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's just a spectacular film. You got Bad Boys 2. You got, let's see. You got Tomb Raider, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life. Is that the sequel? Yeah, that's the sequel, right?
Yeah.
So that's the bad one.
I think they're both pretty equal in my eyes, but
I think that one's worse than the first one.
Sure.
All right, you got a few threes here. You got Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. And you got Seabiscuit. There you go, Andrew. Seabiscuit, your favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, now I know exactly the only time I've ever fallen asleep in a theater.
That's right. I can't remember. There was a reason why you guys had gone into Seabiscuit, and I think there was you couldn't go to another movie or something. I feel like I remember something like that.
I don't know.
Anyway,
why did I regret it?
You got one of the best movies, Spy Kids 3D Game Over. That came out 20 years ago. That was the third Spy Kids movie. That's crazy. Came out 20 years ago. That makes me feel very old. What else? Johnny English with Rowan Atkinson, which is not a bad movie. It's actually pretty funny. We watched it not too long ago. I thought it was decent.
Yeah, that's fine. It's, got that sort of, he does something goofy and for whatever reason he can sell it.
Yep. And then this is probably the biggest one of that month. One of the biggest movies probably of that year, which is Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl. 20. And they had it in the theaters like a couple weeks ago. That was another one of the ones they had for the Disney 100. And that actually is an anniversary too, so that actually makes sense. That's a good
Yeah.
movie. Johnny Depp nominated for an Oscar for playing Jack Sparrow for that movie.
That has got to be one of my favorite movie franchises of all time. So
I like the first one.
I like all three of them.
I think the
I
first.
like some of the fourth and the fifth one. I would still watch today, even though they are not good. But I just love watching Captain Jack.
Nah.
I liked the stick when he did it in Lone Ranger, and that movie's not good.
Oh, that movie sucks. That movie
But
sucks.
I just
Everything
like
about
the
it
whole thing
sucks.
about it.
He should never have been Tonto.
He's, you know how everyone's just in love with Iron Man, like if he wasn't in the movie, it was a bad movie or something. I like Captain Jack, like everyone loves Iron Man that way, even though Iron Man 2 and 3 were not good.
The love for Captain Jack is not there. I don't know why you're acting like no one's gives him his props for Jack Sparrow.
No, I'm just saying that's why I like those bad movies.
He was such a huge star then and for a while after because he was Captain Jack. No one's going to be like, yes, Johnny Depp, he sustained that long because he was friggin' Sweeney Todd or something. It's because he's in Pirates of the Caribbean. That's a good movie. The first one's very good. I think the second one's all right in compare. It's fine. I would not watch. I'd maybe watch the second one, but I don't think I would watch 3, 4, or 5.
No, I'd watch 1, 2, and 3. I would literally watch any of them.
I would definitely watch 1 again for sure. I thought about seeing it in theaters when they re-released it, but I didn't end up seeing it. All right, 2013. And guess what movie came out in 2013? July happens to be the great time for Disney to put out a movie with Johnny Depp because The Lone Ranger came out in July of 2013. It didn't work. Didn't work.
And your ensemble of Captain Jack and a different character. Huh?
Yeah. And wait a second.
There's a part where he's
the director, it's the same director.
Yeah.
They love July for that director and Johnny Depp combo, I guess. That movie sucks.
There's a part where he's between 2 trains or something, and he's climbing up a ladder, and it's just swinging all over the place, and yet he keeps ending up okay and stuff. I don't know. I find that stuff really funny.
Yeah, I think they should call this July 2013 is the mediocre twos here. You got Despicable Me 2, you got Grown Ups 2, you got Red 2, you got The Smurfs 2.
I mean, that's kind of the start. I mean, it's probably earlier than that, but that's kind of the start of just sequeling everything known to man.
Yeah, that is just a really bad month of twos that are not really good. I would say probably Despicable Me 2 is probably the best out of them, but that's rough. But you got other good. You got other interesting stuff. You can't forget great films such as R.I.P.D. You got you got the start. You got the start of a major franchise that just had a one, The Conjuring. You got Pacific Rim came out in July of 2013. Fruitvale Station. That's a good movie.
I don't know what that is.
It's Ryan Coogler's his first like big movie. And that's with Michael B. Jordan's in it and stuff. That's the where they started working with each other. So that's why you have them in Black Panther and you have the Creed movies and everything because of that movie. The way back. Have you seen that movie with Steve Carell and Tony Collette and stuff like that? Sam Rockwell. That's a really good movie. I would recommend that movie because who doesn't like Sam Rockwell? Steve Carell plays a meanie, a dick in that movie.
Maybe I have seen this.
Yeah, he plays. There's lots of good actors in it. It's funny. I
might have seen it. I'd have to look at it.
Well, you can look it up, and if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend it. That was a good movie.
What was it called again?
The Way Back.
No, I don't think I've seen this. I will definitely check that out. That one looks like a good one.
That's a good movie. I don't know. I don't think you consider this number 2. It's not called blank 2, but The Wolverine also came out in July of 2013. I remember me and you walking out of that movie, and we were like, "What was that?" It was just so weird because he's like in Japan for some reason, and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I hated it. I'd probably watch that one again. I like watching my favorite superheroes play their role, like even though they're not good movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it recently. I know that it was like James Mangold directed it. There was I forgot who's the villain in that. It was like someone famous, I feel like.
They have I don't know if he was the villain, but the guy in Bullet Train, the guy who's the samurai and basically everything.
Yeah, I think he was friendly in that movie.
Yeah, he's the friend.
Yeah, Hiroyuki Sanada. I like that, obviously I like Japanese and stuff. That's cool. I like, sword play and stuff like that. But I feel like there was someone famous that ended up being the villain in that. I just don't remember who it was.
I don't remember. I don't remember. Anyway, someone wanted immortality or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember that movie being weird and convoluted. Anyway, that's all for our throwback movies there. So we'll just make a quick pit stop on the trailer train, and then we'll move on to the main event here. So the only trailer we got this week is the trailer for season 2 of Loki. Did you check it out? What'd you think?
Kind of looks like the same as the first season. But I like Owen Wilson. I like the group. I think they've got good chemistry. So I'm ready for a season 2. It was one of the better shows, I think. I know you don't think that, but
I just thought it got so boring at the end. I didn't like the final episode. It completely derailed the show. it was a show about Loki, and then they were like, just kidding, last episode's not about him, really.
Well, at least there was some kind of reveal at the end that kind of felt like it meant something.
I guess.
It was a way better ending than almost all of the other ones.
Okay, we'll see. I don't know. And we have Jonathan Majors. He was revealed, and we'll see what happens with Jonathan Majors. It's probably dependent on how that trial goes, but they show him in the trailer. But they showed all these people in the trailer, and I was like, am I supposed to remember these people? It's like,
I think so. They have some of like the security guards and stuff, or whoever those people were. It looks like they're reprising roles. So
yeah, that's how I feel about it. It looks okay. I don't know.
I mean, if you're gonna watch all of Secret Invasion, I mean, I'm sure it's better than that.
I think it maybe I like because it's like not multiverse stuff, and that I like Sam Jackson and stuff like that. I like kind of like espionage stuff. That's probably why I like more interested.
That was exactly why I was so bored of it, because it was a scroll. Like, who cares?
Well, I think it's not interesting because it's nobody interesting that is a scroll. It's like schmo agent person that's a scroll. Like, who cares? In the comics, Secret Invasion is like superheroes is the scrolls, not like who cares if Agent Johnson is a scroll. I don't care. Anyway, that's besides the point. Loki looks fine. I'm probably gonna watch it. I'm sure we'll probably talk about it. Unless it's horrible, then we won't talk about it. But yeah. All right. Are we ready to talk about?
What, you don't want to talk about Groot?
Groot.
They have like that are little episodes of just baby Groot is getting a season 2.
Oh, I guess
it was a joke. We don't actually have stuff. Just for kids.
I guess I just missed it.
Have you seen any of the first season?
Yeah, they were like 2 minutes long. And there was like 5 of them. So I watched it in like 15 minutes. Yeah.
Fine. Well, they're season 2 for you because I haven't watched it.
All right, cool. Well, they were cute. Like, I like Baby Groot. Obviously, I love Guardians. So cool. I'll watch it. Yeah. I'll watch it in 20 minutes, and then I can move on with the rest of my day.
The trailer is just like a space ice cream truck pulling up, basically.
Oh, dope. I like space ice cream trucks. Did it say when it's coming out, or?
Probably did, but I don't remember. I would assume probably soon. I don't know why that would need like months ahead or anything.
Oh, that's going to be a big build-up. They're probably going to put it in theaters.
What?
It's a joke.
It's okay. You did not say that with like any like jokeness about it. It sounded like.
I'm sorry, but you should probably just know that. That it's. I'm joking. September 6th. So they put it out exactly a month before it comes out. All right. Cool. Good for Groot, I guess. A fictional character. Yeah.
Good for Vin Diesel. Role of a lifetime.
I guess that's a role.
We are family.
Well, we are family. Is that what he said?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think he did. I think he said, "I love you guys" or something.
Oh. I thought he said the 2 things. He didn't say two things, or he just said
He
that?
said "We Are Groot" in the first movie.
I could have swore he said family at some point.
No, you're just thinking because of Fast and the Furious.
Well, I don't remember that movie very well, but
All right. The Guardians, Gamora is green. You know who else is green? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mutant Mayhem is the movie that we're talking about this week. It was an animated movie, the second animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in wide release. The last one that they did not do well. The last time they did an animated movie.
I've seen that one.
I have too. I think we probably saw it together. It was like came out in like 2008 or something.
I didn't think the animated one was that bad.
I just don't think it was memorable. I don't think
anyone. No, I don't remember it.
Yeah, nobody. I don't think. I think it didn't do well because it was just like, okay, whatever. Here it is.
Yeah, to be fair, they don't have like huge names in that one. I doubt it. I could be wrong about that, but they clearly put a lot of funding behind this one and got like big names. So,
yeah,
just because of that, it's more memorable.
Well, I think they put people behind it that care about it, have like the source material, which makes sense. When you put people behind the camera or write it or whatever that care about what they're doing, then yeah, you're probably gonna get a good outcome. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg were a couple of the writers, but they were also the producers of the movie. So, and they're I had a little. Did you have a little thing before it started where they were like, "Thanks for coming," or what? He's like, "Thanks for coming."
Yeah.
He also is one of the voices in the movie as well, Seth Rogen. So yeah. So what did you think overall?
I thought it was a better movie. I'm not that big of a fan of kids movies, but I think this one did, a better job than like Mario did, and that's all I can think of right now. I don't think it did as good as Spider-Man, but they're trying to go for that Spider-Man feel, especially in animation. But I don't know, the animation I kind of ended up not liking bits of it. They kind of make humans look like goofy and stuff looking. I see the choice. I don't really like the choice that much, but I still overall thought the movie was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked the animation. I've liked this animation style that they're kind of doing. They did it with Puss in Boots, which is I liked Puss in Boots more than this movie, but I still thought this was a good movie. I
think it was a bit too dark. I mean, it is kind of like I want to say like Gotham or something like that. It's kind of got that
they're in
dark because they're always like, they're in the sewers or they're out at nighttime or something, right?
Yeah,
but I don't know. I wish it was just a bit brighter. I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't have any problem with the brightness.
It felt like they had like that shade and like, Justice League or something. I wish I could literally like go turn the brightness up. That's it. I'm not saying you need to change the colors.
Most of the movie also takes place at night.
Yeah, I know. I felt like I was not like squinting or anything, but
all right. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that was a you problem because I didn't have that problem. I did talk to a few people because it's been like a while, a couple days since I've seen it, and I've noticed that because I'm not a big Ninja Turtles fan. I don't really know the lore that well. That some people were a little disappointed or upset that it's not really the.
It's not a 1-for-1 at all.
No,
other than that, the Ninja Turtles are, but the characters around them are completely different.
Yeah, and like, yeah, that they've changed some things, and it's not, some of their origin stuff isn't their origin.
The origin's different. Like the master's completely different. It's very different.
Okay. That didn't bother me because I'm not super familiar with the source material. I watched a little bit of the show, the Nickelodeon shows and stuff. I thought those were fine enough. So I think I liked it because I don't have a lot of hang-ups or preconceived notions about what they're supposed to be. I found it refreshing that they sound like teenagers. They sound like kids. It doesn't seem like old dudes trying to write teenagers and they don't know how they actually sound. So I liked
feel
that.
Like they wrote it fine for the time they wrote it, and teenagers back then were probably, like, cowabunga, dude.
No.
They were doing that.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying other movies, not Ninja Turtles movies. Gotcha. Other movies, they're supposed to be teenage shows or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They don't talk like teenagers.
The Ninja Turtles, I think, in this movie were done pretty well. And you can definitely tell that they recorded them in the same room or something like that.
Yeah. The kids did a good job. Who are doing the voices of the turtles. I think they were all very distinctive, and they had their own things. They felt like fully formed, and they felt like a family. I liked that. I thought the villain was good. The setup was pretty basic and made sense to me. Their reasoning made sense for, they want to be just known as what they are, not like who they are, but not what they are. I thought it was a good movie on that front. I thought the voice talent was good. You got, who do we got? We got, so you got the main four. You have Maya Rudolph playing this villainous, shadowy organization figure. I didn't even realize it was Maya Rudolph. But you have.
I told you they put a bunch of famous people behind it.
Indeed.
Like Seth Rogen's friends and stuff, I guess.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. You have what's her name? Ayo Edebiri. She's in the Bear, which we just watched.
She's the sous chef or whatever that's called.
Right. Yeah, she. So she's in there. She's April O'Neil. Bebop and Rocksteady are played by Seth Rogen and John Cena. Jackie Chan plays Splinter. Ice Cube plays your main villain, Superfly. And then you have a few other characters played by Paul Rudd, Post Malone, Hannibal Buress, Juan Carlo Esposito, Rose Byrne, Mr. Beast for some reason has a cameo in this movie. But yeah. So it was a good voice cast. I think overall it was pretty good. We can get into spoilers here in a moment. For me, I'm at like a 7.5. I thought it was funny. I laughed a few times. And if I wasn't laughing, I think I had like a smile or, I felt good. It was a fun movie. I thought it was pretty good. You have any like surface thoughts before we talk about spoilery stuff?
I think I'm at a 7. I think casual audiences are probably more like an 8. depending. I do think what you said, there are some changes to the lore and stuff that could piff people. People don't like things being changed, especially when it's like something they grew up with. Um, and I still think they did a good job on how they changed it. It wasn't like bad or like, why did you choose to do that the old way so much better or something. But I do, for me, I'm one of those people where I was like, where's this person? Where's that person? Oh, they changed this. So I am having those thoughts during the movie, but I would say 8 for casual audiences, but for me, it's going to be a 7.
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's get into some spoilers. So there's an end credit scene or mid credit scene or whatever you want to call it. Because it was funny because I saw it with some people and they were like, it's so weird that Splinter isn't in this movie. Like that's like the villain. And then
they showed up,
and then the mid credit scene, because it was weird in this movie. So you have that organization that that's led by Maya Rudolph's character, and I was like, why is this like really even in this movie? I know you had to have the stuff in the beginning where they show like the ooze or whatever, and but I was like, what's the point of having them later? Because they just like at the end of the movie, she just like disappears. It was like, what happened to them? And I guess that was the reason, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I just found that a little weird.
I don't know. Her face was so annoying, so the less of her was in it.
Yeah. That was something that, took it a little bit away from me. I liked that the movie was short. It was an hour and a half, so I liked that. And they told a good story in that short amount of time. What else? So that's what they have. What's his name? Baxter Stockman is the name. It's he's like the scientist that comes up with the ooze that ends up making the Ninja Turtles turn in, be mutants, and Splinter being mutants as well. And then so you have all that stuff that goes on, and that changes. Then they like just change gears to back to other things halfway through. You know what I mean? Like with the Ninja Turtles and Superfly and stuff. I just didn't know where it was going, and then when they connected the dots, I was like okay with it, but I don't know why they had like rant. I thought originally they were going to have, that guy come back as Baxter Stockman, but he just like died. I was like, why did you even get that guy?
Maybe they'll do something in the next film with him.
Maybe. Because it was like, why would you get that guy's voice? Like,
because we don't know how Shredder's created or anything, but he's not supposed to be separate from the Turtles and Splinter and the original stuff. They're all together, sort of thing. So maybe it'll get tied in there.
Okay, maybe that's it.
Because Splinter, I think Shredder's supposed to be like his pupil, Splinter's pupil, and Splinter's supposed to be like a master kung fu guy, and he's just the dad in this, but learned some kung fu on YouTube apparently. So I could easily see this rubbing people the wrong way. I see what they went for, and I still think they did pretty good with what they did. So.
Yeah, I think I'm liking simple storytelling, and I think I think the easy way to go about it is the family angle. I think, and I'm okay with that. So, and they're doing a different way to get to these characters instead of the way that it's always been. It's based on the source material. It's not exactly the source material. So I guess it's just not what some people want, I guess.
Yes, but that's also the people that are going to see your movie. So all those people that were turned off by it are probably not seeing the next one.
If they make another one, I don't think this movie is like
making tons of money
doing that well. But the thing is, there's these movies that I like these movies. So, and Dungeons and Dragons was another one. I like these movies. So I'm hoping they do well. I'm hoping this movie does good enough to, not like bomb or something, not like lose money or whatever. I thought it was a good movie. Trying to think, was there any other like big spoilers? Well, so let's talk about April O'Neil because has a pretty good. What?
She's a big departure from the original April O'Neil as well.
From what I know, in the comics, people were mad about the race.
Well, yeah, it's a race swap.
But I think she was in the original, like the original. I think she is a person of color. I don't know if she was black in the original, but she's not a white lady like she is in the cartoons. I'm pretty sure in the comics. I could be wrong, but I think she wasn't white. But in the cartoon, of course, they made her like white, red hair.
Yeah, I would say mostly the cartoon is what made it super popular.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the comic. I don't know about that.
I think the comic is dark.
Probably. Most comics are.
So, so I think
they change her character, like how she acts as well. She's never, kind of down on herself, low self-esteem kind of person.
Yeah, I think that she comes into her own, and then becomes the April O'Neil that I think that's what that's what they're going for. So then that's what teenagers do.
It was done fine. There was some scenes that I was just like, please let this movie be over. Like the endless puking that went on for way too long was not funny.
I was
gross.
Yeah, that was weird. I did think that was kind of weird.
Like her character was fine until that scene for me. Like I would have been, if that was just cut out, I probably would have no problems with her.
Yeah, I found that I did find that weird.
They even do a callback to a horrible joke and have her puke again for some reason, and it wasn't funny the second time. So it was just like, I don't know, didn't like that part.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I found some like. I think it's true to life that people will remember you for certain things, and they call you whatever name.
Yeah, I feel like they had to modernize it for the time we're in now.
Yeah,
because in the 90s we didn't have phones and all this technology and stuff.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm not attached to any characters or characterizations of these characters. I would say the puking thing was weird.
I will say I missed the one from the TV show, but this one was fine. And no Casey Jones. That's lame. Casey Jones.
He can come sometime, maybe when they're in high school.
Now you have a whole cast of mutant things to contend with. I don't know. We'll see where they take it, if it even gets a sequel.
I would guess they're probably in high school, and then they meet Casey Jones. Is probably what happens. If they were going to do that. If they were going to have him. Which they might not.
So he's supposed to be like a
Older.
failed like hockey player who got injured and he becomes a crime fighter. Is his background.
Well, you could still do that. Be some guy who played hockey in high school and then he got hurt.
Okay.
What? There's high school athletes, like high school football players. They can't play football anymore or whatever.
I don't know.
I'm just
It
saying
doesn't
you
work
could.
when they're in high school.
Okay, fine. They're in college.
Okay, well, they're probably not going to be, but yeah.
Maybe the Casey
Maybe
Jones
he is in college.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. I guess maybe it just really affects that I don't care about the source material. So I guess I would be mad if somebody took something that I liked and then completely changed it. Yeah, I guess I would be mad about that.
It would be like, I'm trying to think of a older show that you've watched. It's like they took Ned's Declassified and like took out his like best friend or something and made it something else.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say that's more on the major side. Maybe another, but like maybe like the janitor's not there or something. But
oh yeah, that took me a second to remember that. But yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a good movie. I think kids would have a good time with this movie.
Well, I agree. I still think it's a good film. I gave it a 7. It's just I can see the differences. Yeah,
I like Jackie Chan.
Everything was good until he kissed a roach.
Yeah, that was weird.
Why is there so many gross things in this movie?
That was really weird, and the noises were nasty, and
it was super gross. Yeah,
it was very, very, very unnecessary. I didn't understand why they even
this whole shock value thing of like, wow, it's just like why?
I guess maybe because he produced and wrote it, Seth Rogen, and he does stuff like that. I don't know. That's
I don't know. Mistakes were made on those choices, particularly.
Yeah, that I will say that was weird, and didn't make sense in my mind. But these are the guys who, do the boys. So, and.
Yeah, well, I still think it was appropriate for those scenes. Simple as that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think back in the day in some kids' movies, there's adult jokes. And I don't think any of it was like particularly. Yeah, it was just
I wouldn't even say these were adult jokes. It was just like unnecessary grossness.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know why they no kid would think that's funny. So I'm trying to. I guess the puke maybe they would think is funny, but
I could have seen the puke if it was just like she ran off screen and you heard her puke, and then she came back and wiped her face.
This one was really weird.
But no, she literally like all over the place, like some horrible comedy where they do they put their hand and they got fake. Like it's like that.
That is pretty stupid. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. But
I'm not asking you to defend it.
Well, no, she couldn't do that because she had to be on screen. The thing she was getting because
she could be bullied or whatever. Whatever.
It didn't have to be as crazy as it was. I will say that. No. But I don't think that doesn't knock it down any points for me or anything because there was weird crap in it. But
it didn't knock it. I don't know. Maybe it did knock down a point for me. I don't know.
I know that you have a problem with certain things. You think certain things are
well, it's not like it happened once. It happened 3 times.
What do you mean 3 times?
She puked one time, then they had a call back to the puke with a little puke for some reason, and then I had to watch Jackie kiss a roach.
Oh, okay, so that's 3. Well, you didn't watch Jackie.
3 strikes. Yo, ow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you tend to remember things like that really strongly, and
I
not.
will. I'm sure a year from now, I'll remember that garbage puking scene.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe they were going for something memorable, and they got it. So,
I guess.
alrighty. Well,
Anyways, yeah.
I think it's a good movie. I would say check it out in the theaters. I think it's worth your time. If you're not going to go see it in the theater, definitely check it out when it comes on streaming or if you want to rent it, because I think it's worth your time. I'm enjoying this kind of, you know, apart from Disney, these other studios making good animated stuff, DreamWorks, and the Sony Animation and stuff like that. We're getting some different animation studios being able to make some good stuff, and they're giving creators interesting things to do.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy with that because I like animated movies. So I think I'll have a couple animated movies in my top 10, maybe this year.
Hopefully they make some good anime for next year. So
I think there's an anime movie out right now. Some of the, like the basketball movie, some dunking or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's based on like a show, I think.
But they could thrive while movies are, disposed of for a while.
That's true. I don't, they're not. I don't think that they're not included in that. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I didn't even think
a good opening for them.
All right, well, get on that,
All
people.
right. We will see you guys on the next one.
See you later.